Good afternoon, my friends. How you doing? So, in today's video, we're going to start now by playing beginner decks. I'm going to briefly go over what the strategies are, and we'll play a game or two, and then we'll just round off the video by saying what worked well, what didn't, and maybe some cards that you could look out for when you're opening kegs that would really help the strategy a lot. So first of all, we'll play monsters, because sure. So we'll play the monster starting deck. So we've changed to Overwhelming Hunger. Okay, this deck is a mishmash of a lot of different ideas. So the first thing I'm going to kind of look for is playing big minions, tall minions. I want to play Old Spear Tip, 9 strength in round 1 or 2. I want to play him early. And I also want to play the Ice Giant, because he's a 7. And I want to play them in round 1 or 2 as well, if possible. And then in round 3, I want to consume them from my graveyard, or consume the opponent's tool stuff. Okay, so I want to try and hold him to round 3, but also the ghouls, they can only eat bronzes. That's where those Ice Giants came in. So these are round 3 things. We want to kind of get rid of them in round 1 if we can from our hand. Our next strategy is, I guess, with all the Death Wish. So Harpy Eggs, we can use our leader card to deal with that now. But also Seleno Harpies. We don't want to use all of them. I think we've got 4 Death Wish things, and we've got 3 charges plus 2 of these. So we don't need all of these Seleno Harpies. But we've got Death Wish, and we've got our leader card triggering the Death Wish. So we want to try and get some Death Wish cards. I'll probably start to try and keep hold of one of those in case the opponent's got something a bit scary that I want to deal with. And we'll most likely try and keep hold of one Necker at the start of a round if we have it, and to get that Thrive going. And we'll try and play in order to get the Thrive working. Thrive is up there, boost this unit by 1 whenever you play an ally of a higher power. Okay, so that was a rare quick 2 minutes. Okay, so he's Northern Realms. I mentioned that I want to keep the Alzor's Thunder because he might have scary cards. Northern Realms are the faction that are going to have scary cards that generate value over time. So I am going to keep hold of that. We don't have a big card. We've got him. Now, he's normally a round 3 card, but I feel like I should keep him in my hand because I don't want to not get him later. We've got that. We've got a couple of eggs. That guy's not too interesting. I'm going to take him out. Okay, that's good. And I'm not too bothered about that because I'm not going for the dominance. That's also reasonably good. Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Okay, it's my turn first. Okay, so because it's my turn first, I get this tactical advantage. Okay. Now, I also need to kind of stay ahead on points because I went first. Because I get to play the first card. So I'm going to play down... I guess I'll play this. Just to get that Death Wish ready. And now I can end turn. Okay. I don't have anything with Thrive in my hand. Apart from her, but I need to trigger a Death Wish if I want to use her. So I might use her soon. But she's got 4 strength, so I need to play some at 5, 6, or 7, or 8, or 9 to actually trigger the Thrive. So I want to place her down first, and then start playing these down. So he's going to get one strength at the end of every allied turn. When he's got no armor, he moves to the melee row and damages the unit by 2. So maybe it's worth doing 2 damage to it. Like this. Bam, does 2 damage. Because I think that in the long run will be worth it. So we'll end turn. Now, as a beginner, you never really want to use this straight away. Okay? Don't plop a unit down and use that, because that's just a bad play. If I'd have placed down, you know, a 4 strength unit, and then boosted it by 5, my opponent would just use Geralt on it, and then I'll be in a really bad situation for the rest of the game. So you want to hold up on using that until like you start getting a bit way in. Okay, so he destroyed it. Let's throw another one down. I think I'm ready. I want to use that. So end turn. So this is going well. My opponent has damage unit by 8, so I want to try and have last say. What that means is, at the very final round, I want to be the one to play the last card. But that means I have to win this round, really.
For this most beautiful of maidens, I shall fight 100 duels.
What's he doing? Oh, yeah, vitality. So, I'm going to play Abaya. She's got Thrive, but also triggers a Bronze Ally Death Wish, and we've got that. So I play her. Trigger that. I could trigger that for 2, but that's going to be a 5, so it's more valuable. Okay, she's got Thrive. Now, never boost a Thrive thing, because there's no point. That means if I boosted her to 9, I'd have to play a 10 in order to trigger that Thrive. So I don't want to do that. I'll end turn. Notice how I'm not using that still because I'm still ahead. I would use it if I'm about to fall behind. Or I'll use it when I want to leave. If I want to leave, I'll use it to try and make the gap seem a bit too insurmountable for him that he'll pass. So, he gets the damage unit on the ranged row. Oh my god, he shouldn't have done that. Okay, that was a big waste. Damage unit by 8. Death blow give adjacent units bleeding. Don't think he should have done that, really. So, I'm going to now start triggering that Thrive. I might consider locking that. So he's ahead, but I don't have to worry too much. I'm going to just play that. Yeah, I'm going to play that. That puts me ahead. I have to take into account I'm going to lose 1 and he's going to gain 1. So I think we're okay. But we're very close to needing to use that now. We'll probably use it next turn. But if I'm feeling like I want to get out of this round, what I can do is use one of my leaders to consume that. And then I will also use that on something, probably the lowest thing, that. If I put it on that, it's a really nice target for him to try and kill.
One bolt's all I need.
Okay. Let's eat that then. That'll get it as a big boost. Now what's really important for beginners, I think a lot of beginners don't realise this. After you do something, even though I haven't played a card, I can't pass. If you do something on your turn, you can't pass until you played a card. So don't think you can press that, boost something and then pass, because that's not allowed. You have to play a card if you do something in a turn. So we're really good. We're going to put that on to that. So if he kills that, then he still takes 2 damage. We're going to then play, I think, this 7. And now we can end. I think that's where I'm going to leave. And as you can see, because I used all my big stuff there, you know, I used 1 leader to get rid of the Death Wish. I used the boost. The strength value looks a bit too crazily big. So that's kind of forced him out of the round there. And that's what you want to use that boost for. Okay? I don't want to spend these big cards here, so I pushed him out of the round. So it's round 2. Do I want a long round or a short round 3? That's my question now. So we're looking at... We've got a bit of Thrive. That's good to always start with. That's going to be nice for... I can thin my deck if I've got the Dominance. I don't really have it right now. I don't need the Consume, because I haven't got any Death Wish. So take rid of that. He's good. I'll play him. He will help with the Dominance for this guy too. And I think that'll be fine. So, the question I ask myself now is, do I want a long round 3? Okay, because I'm going to lose this round no matter what, really. Unless you go 2-0 and really push hard. But as you can see, he's got 8 cards. I've got 7, and I'm going to play a card first because I won last round. So, it's not looking too good in that respect. So I am going to play here. I need to be very careful that I don't play. He beats my strength and then I lose card advantage for it. So let's just do it. But Northern Realms, his faction, they like a really long round to get all those engines doing +1 boost, +1 damage, +1, you know, boost and stuff. So we don't want to give him a long round 3 because he'll beat me up. That guy is an engine. He's only an engine when he's boosted, so he's got one of those drummers most likely who boosts the unit to the right. So I am going to, let me just think. I am going to, we can, we'll just zap that one. There we go. So I didn't know if it was a lock or kill it. There's a card that I'm really scared of called Anna. Okay, that was good. I need to get the Thrive going, but that doesn't actually do anything. Okay, that's not good. I'll just put him down. I'm going to put him on the melee because he had that card before. At the end of your turn, damage a random unit on the ranged row. So if I keep stuff on the melee, he won't be able to deal with it. Now that's going to do 2 damage, so that's going to die anyway, unfortunately. Now at this point, I really need to stay ahead. Okay? I can't fall behind in strength here. If I do, I lose card advantage. Because I'll pass and he'll just pass without having to play a card. I can play this now because I've got the highest strength unit on the board. That'll thin a card from my deck, which is great. I'm getting close to being wanting to come out. If he places down something big, I will play that. Okay, Anna Stringer. Yay, she's a tough one. I think we will lock that. Will we lock that? I mean, I could lock it, but I could just pass and lock a drummer that comes next turn. I think I'm okay at passing here. I don't need to lock it because I don't plan on being in this round much longer. Whereas if he plays something with boosts over time next turn, I'll lock that instead, and that'd be kind of nice. So we've still got 2 leader charges. We don't have much Death Wish. We're kind of looking for a Ghoul next turn. Possibly an Arcaspore. We haven't got much actually in the way of Death Wish here. Okay. Fair enough. Great. So, we've both got 3 cards. He won the round, so he has to go first. Which means I do get last say. If he had kept hold of his leader. Most people don't use all their leader round 1. That's generally a bad practice to use your leader completely in round 1. So I'd recommend not doing that. That's worth 6. That's worth 5. We don't need to consume any of our own units. I don't think that's going to be worth much either. Well, that's not bad. That's got Thrive and he can't target it, so it's really nice. Okay, so that's going to get +1 per turn. How many turns have we got? Is there any chance that's going to get up to 9 so I can kill it? 2 at the end of every allied turn. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, poo. Okay. We could lock it. I think just checking my thrives. That's not going to go up by anything apart from these. So we'll lock it.
Mankind is a virus.
I mean, that's going at 1 per turn. The drummer does 1 per turn, so it doesn't really matter. The drummer might be able to help me get something within range of 9. If it boosts something repeatedly, it might go above 9, so we'll find out. There's the drummer.
Left, right.
So if he leaves that there for a long time or something, yeah, let's put that down. He's used both of those now. I don't believe they've got many resurrects, so I can put him down the bottom. And the reason I'm separating them is because of the card that I had, this one. Damage all units on a row by 2. Every starter deck has the ability to have that card, so I don't want to stack on a row too much. Okay, so he's struggling. I probably will forfeit at the end of this match as well. Just to let him have the win. Okay, give us unit 1. Okay. Boost an allied unit. He gives an allied unit Zeal. Can't really do anything about it. So I don't want to play these until the final. I don't want him to have this and kill me with it. Although that's only going to go up to 7. So I'm going to play this. And I don't think I'm even going to use it yet. Because as far as I'm aware, no one's got the ability to destroy artifacts yet. Like, that's not part of the beginner decks. So just checking to see what strength stuff he's got in case I want to use him to eat something from the opponent's graveyard, but doesn't seem it. Oh, that's good.
Peace is priceless.
Yeah, baby. Okay, so that's 9. And destroy an enemy unit of 9 or more. I could wait to see if something gets like, maybe he puts down something which is 15 strength, like that's going to be like kind of nice. But that is actively buffing, so we are going to destroy it now. You really should have buffed something a little weaker, I think. Some of that wasn't an engine. Buffing something up really high puts it in a danger zone of that type of stuff, you know. Alright, 5 damage. Okay. So I'll put that on the melee row. And consume my highest 7. That's still below. Good, that Thrive triggered, because it triggers after he's consumed. It checks whether it's something higher. So he can't Geralt me. That's why I haven't used that on him or anything else. We'll see what happens. So I've still got 2 leader charges. We didn't manage to use them too much. It'll get me like 4 strength. Damage a unit by 2. Spawn a Kidwani Revenant if you kill it. Yeah, so you do this. You eat the 9. And he's forfeited. That's unfortunate. I was going to forfeit. But okay, I'll take the win. Thank you. I guess you might consider that BM, but I'm trying to teach people, so... Okay, so here, we leveled up. Oh, we leveled up twice, actually. So we got 2 reward points. 1 for each level. We ranked up a little bit as well. Or we didn't rank up, I don't think. We just got... I think you have to rank up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to rank up. And we got increase on our journey. GG. So we got some ore from GGing. And good. Very good. We did a good job there. So what's next is to say, let's have a little look at what cards would be good. So because this deck's a mishmash of a lot of different things, it's very difficult. I think one of the better cards, if you can try and find him, if you happen to see him, is Yughearn. He's a pretty damn good card. 13 means that when you eat him with that ghoul, he'll become a really big thing. Gains armor equal to the number of cards in hand. So you have to kind of play him early, or you can play him at any time, as long as it's not your last card, because then he dies instantly. And normally when he loses armor, he dies. That's a really big negative. But you can eat him with your leader to kind of keep him, to like remove that negative. So he's a really good card. If you see Yughearn, you want to try and grab him. You could go for a Glusty Warp. I mean, that's a good card. You need a bit more to make it work, but he's definitely a good card if you see him. That's not a bad card for Death Wish. You can seize an enemy. You've got some other things, like Kayron's some other Death Wish if you want to go that route. I find the Beast to be a pretty damn good card. Just boost and boost and boost by itself. She's a very good card for Death Wish and Thrive. So she's a nice multi-purpose card for you. And you need to find what cards are 7 cost for you. That Beast that I just looked at is a 7 cost, so he's really good too. So if you see either of them, they're pretty decent. I think Parasite gets included a lot because it does 6 removal or 6 boosting. So removal's quite... It's always good to have a bit of removal in your decks. Okay, and these are all bronzes, so you'll get those as you go. Okay, so look out for any of those, and then we'll kind of see what kind of Thrive or Death Wishy decks you kind of lean towards. So I think I'm going to end the video with 1 keg opening, because that'll be fun. So let's open a keg, shall we? Let's see what we get.
Smash, smash.
Bam. Open a keg. Sheep. Okay, so you get 5 cards. The middle one you get to choose. So we got Squirtail Panther. Not bad. Removal. Whenever you play a special card, I don't know how useful they are nowadays. You control an artifact, boost south by 3. Not too interesting. And a neutral, so not too interesting. And we got our rare. Drummond Queensguard. Mirelorn. Trigger a bronze allied unit's Death Wish. Or boost south by hand for each elf in your hand. So I think that would work in the Death Wish deck, but I know that's got a top tier deck that could include them. So I do like the Drummonds. So I think I'm going to choose her for my Skellige deck later. Okay. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully it was helpful on how you should play the beginner monster deck. And any questions, let me know. And I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.